Today we are going to talk about the cycles of emotional turbulence. And first, I would like to talk why I choose this kind of subject, because everything is about emotions. It's how our personal emotional lives, how they develop, and how we can really understand what really happens. So my approach is always on understanding something through several ways. I'm always into understanding a concept through several ways of thinking. So according to the Huber School of Astrology, but also according to Cornell, a great astrologer and a doctor that was lived in the beginning of the 20th century, signs of the zodiac can tell us about our biology. And of course, when we talk about emotions and how we react to our emotional situations, it has to do also with our biological situations and how we feel about other people. So our biological predispositions are really very important. Imagine, for example, that I'm a person that I have increased hormonal levels. That probably means that I'm a person that is going to react in a very specific way when I'm in a breakup situation. People that are really calm in their life, or people that are not really expressing their emotions, may have some specific problems in their life because of their genetic behavior. So first we have to look the biology of the natal chart. We have to look the genetics and also the destined situation, which is really important. According to the Hubers and of course of medical astrology, looking at the chart and looking at the signs, looking at the planets in each sign can tell us very important information about what really happens in a chart. According to the Hubers, planets from the 27th degree, 28, 29, the energetic degrees of each sign, and also 0 degrees and first degrees of every sign, also means that the genetic predisposition that we have towards this sign is not very important. Imagine, for example, that you have a planet around the 29th degree. That means that you are almost ready to go to the next step. And a chart and the zodiac is not an apple pie that you cut in 12 pieces. It's like a rainbow. Between red and yellow, we have orange. So the regions around the zodiac signs are like a mixture of those two zodiac signs. So for this reason, our genetic predispositions from the 27th to the second degree of each sign, it's like our affinities are mixed. But what the theory says is that if you have planets from the 4th degree of its sign till its 15th degree of every sign, the predisposition is very powerful. While around the 3rd degree and from the 60th degree to the 26th degree of every sign, the predisposition is balanced. And then, of course, we can see that perhaps a person that has his Mars in Scorpio, probably he is more into something like a passionate relationship or an emotional disturbance in his life. But it's not just the biological predispositions. We have also what we call the prenatal concepts. The prenatal stage is very important. Iles Bailey made the foundation for the analysis of the prenatal epoch. You can find her book it's published, I think, by Astro America. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that the book is published in English. I have it to show it to you later. You can buy it and you can see how the whole concept of the prenatal epoch is very important. So by founding the prenatal chart, the day of the conception, is really important because we are not just humans that we start our lives since our birth. We are beings that we are affected by several factors within the time lapse of these 9 months that we are within our mother's belly, within our womb. This is very important. The prenatal chart is always important in order to understand the foundations of a human being, and always interesting to look at the transit, progressions, and other stuff that they work in a prenatal stage. The most important aspects that you should look is always with the MC, the ascendant, the part of fortune, the sun, and the moon. Of course, with the rest of the chart, directed or with the natal chart. So you have to look closely what really happens with those prenatal aspects, how the natal chart, and how the conception chart works with the directions of the MC, the SC, the part of fortune of the sun and the moon. Again, you have to look at the progressed planets and especially the moon. The moon is one of the most important factors in order to understand what really happens when you look on a prenatal chart. Because we are not alone. We know very well that within the womb, inside our mothers emotions, our mother's situation influence us and also can give us specific information about how we are going to develop later in our life. Tertiary progressions also are very important. You have to look at the tertiary progressions, the prenatal tertiary progressions, because it's going to give us a lot of information about the psycho-emotional communication and connection a mother has with the fetus. And of course, you have to look at transits and important eclipses. And then you can also look at the tree wheel charts with the mother chart, the natal birth chart of the child, and of course the prenatal aspects. So you have to look the chart of the mother, the chart of the mother, I'm sorry, the chart of the child, and then all of the most important prenatal aspects, those transits, progressions, primary directions, and secondary and tertiary progressions. You are going to look closer what really happens in these features and how each development finally brought alive after 9 months being into the womb of the mother. What is really fascinating is that usually an emotional turbulent situation, especially within the 9 months gap of the mother having these features inside her, may lead to severe alteration of what we could expect from a person. And his or her natal chart, the baby's natal chart, is going to show that this person had a severe anxiety situation during the period that was inside his womb. And then we have to look at, sorry, okay, we have to look at the prenatal concepts that is going to affect the epigenetics. And we can see that according to a book that I really love, that is called Allergy, Immunity, and Tolerance in Early Childhood of Academic Press, in 2015, we can look closer at the microbiome, viruses, bacteria, smoking, antioxidants, vitamins, dietary fiber and prebiotics, allergens and pollutants may affect the life of the mother, but also the behavior and the health of the child after each birth. Something really fascinating.